Hey y'all. So you remember when I talked with y'all a little bit back and I talked to you about belief and the startling thing I found out as I studied the scriptures from the original language was that belief and faith are two different things. Faith is in the Greek is pronounced pistis. Belief in the Greek is pronounced pistos, and belief is more about what you heard, and not about what you heard, but about seeing and thinking that God, thinking about God. But faith is about having a trust in God. Faith, and the definition is substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. What I'm learning, y'all, and I think that one of the biggest mistakes I made most of my life, going to church and things, because we talked about one time, how do you hear God? Do you hear God with your ears, or do you hear God with your heart? Is that belief just says, oh, I know God, I know God, I know God here, and I know God's there because of things I've seen Him do and this, but that's not faith. See, what I'm learning about faith, y'all, is faith being the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen has all to do with what God is going to do. It's the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. And how you hear Him is how it's measured into you, or how it's measured into me. So Jesus said, look, how you hear me is going to be how it's going to be measured in you. Faith, the substance of things hoped for, what I'm going to do in your life is going to come into you based upon how you hear me now. And so one of the biggest mistakes I think I made most of my life is just believing or thinking or conceiving walking with God as in belief and not in faith. See, man, that's a big one for me to understand now. At 66 years old, praise the Lord. That's a big one for me to understand now. That faith and belief are two different things. And I think a lot of us, I'm not saying everybody, if you're already there, praise the Lord and thank God for you being there. But I know a lot of us needs to get to this point where we understand that walking in faith means it's a perception of what God is going to do in our lives, not just what He's done in our lives. That was belief. Yeah, that's why Jesus told those people who He's seen Him feed them, those 5,000 people. And text actually talks about it more than that, but the two fish and the five loaves of bread. And then he said, y'all don't believe me, y'all just here because of what I fed y'all, but you don't. You saw what I did, but you still don't believe me. Now you got to work on believing me, because I want to bring you to a place of having faith in me, not based on what you saw me that I've done, but based on what I'm going to do. Substance of things hoped for, evidence of things unseen. I'm gonna put that in you based on how you hear me with your heart and not with just your ears, because your lips are close to me, but your heart is far from me. So hear me with your heart, so I can pour into you faith, the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. Faith is belief that is predominated by trust. Your belief, okay, I got belief, but is it predominated by trust? I got belief, but does trust rule your belief? Does trust take you where you don't see it, but you're going to see it? You don't hear it, but you're going to hear it. It's not dead, but it's going to be done. Do you have faith, or are you just walking in belief? Because Jesus said, it's going to be measured to you. The things that are going to come about in your life are going to be measured to you by how you have faith in me. Things that in the eyes that don't see, and ears that I can't hear. That's going to be brought about in your life by how you hear me, because that's going to be measured to you by how you hear me, and it's going to be poured into you by how you hear me. Big difference, y'all. Big difference between faith and belief. So, how we hear God. Whew, God said, I want to do stuff in your life, but it's going to be based on your faith. And based on your faith, it's going to come from how you hear me. Substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. You don't see it yet. You don't have it yet, but you will if you hear me. I'm going to measure how you hear me. I'm going to measure it back to you, faith, based upon how you hear me. All right, y'all. Get ready for the God Exists radio show. Holla at your boy. Peace. We's out of here.